other person.
It does. So what about you? So this is how we figured it out. What about you?
Oh, mine's a little different. Like, I didn't put two and two together really till I was probably 22. Now, I had experiences when I was a kid.
Really?
But I was raised super religious. So I brought up one time to Mom, I was like, Mom, there's a witch standing at the foot of my bed and she touched my foot. And Mom was like, Yeah. So everything was a witch and a devil, I didn't even know. It was like everything if you see anything, it was a witch or a devil. So I was like, oh my God. But I remember being, like you say, about first grade. And I remember, I couldn't tell anybody either because she had already said, And I remember getting so creeped out in my bedroom. So creeped out that I would lay there, no lie, and this is what I did. I remember praying, oh, angels, have my eyes, hide my eyes, hide my eyes. Angels, hide my eyes. I don't want to see anything. Please don't make me see anything, because I felt it so strongly that I didn't want to see it.
So when your mom, the great thing about moms, we're great about poo-pooing things away. So when your mom poo-pooed that away, I mean, what did that make you? Did you think that you were crazy? Did you? I mean, because I clearly was like, okay, I totally see that guy over there. Why don't you see it?
I think that it was almost more like I knew I wasn't allowed to.
Okay.
So it was more like, I still know that I've seen it, but it was like, if you ignore it, it will go away. It was what I felt like she was telling me by going, But that's why I said when I would pray and go, hide my eyes, hide my eyes, hide my eyes. And to this day, back then, it was so strong and so consistent. I would always pray and I wouldn't see anything because, like I said, it was bad enough as a kid feeling it so strongly like I did. I mean, it was like hair standing up on your arms and like I ain't even looking over there because I know good and well there's something over there.
Yeah.
And this is how I went to sleep as a first grader. I specifically remember saying, well, I felt this way yesterday and I didn't die.
Wow.
So maybe if I go to sleep, I'll still wake up tomorrow.
Oh,
that's crazy for a first grader to think.
So sad.
But I guess I didn't put two and two together though till later when I really started thinking about what did I think when I was a kid.
So is that when you had your flip the switch moment? What?
No, when I had my flip the switch moment is when, I always was very religious, went to church. I always had that drive, always seeking, God, and it always was real severely passionate for me. Mm-hmm. So when I got older, I started having paranormal stuff happen in college, and then I got very ridiculously religious to try to counteract that. So then I got
praise the Lord.
Yeah, then I got the Holy Ghost, speaking in tongues and all that stuff because I needed a supernatural. Yeah. Well, then it opened up the can of worms because now it's like open up that door to all supernatural stuff. So that's when I started realizing, because that's when I started having visions, and I channeled without knowing it was channeling. I did automatic writing, didn't even hear of it before in my life. Mm-hmm. That's when that stuff started happening, and it just kind of grew from there. But it's funny, I remember somebody asked me one time when I first started kind of getting away from church and getting more in the metaphysical, they said, you want to meditate? And I went, oh no. Mm-mm. They said, really? You don't want to meditate? I said, because you don't know. You don't know like I know. If I go there, it's on. It is so on, and I know it. I actually fought even meditating, because I know if I slightly did it, nobody had to tell me, like, if you do that, it's going to be on.
So how did you learn to turn it on and then turn it off? Who taught you how to do that?
Well, actually, I was blessed. Way back in 1990, I met a woman. her name was Grace Reeves. She had a church, kind of a spiritual group at the time here in Columbus. And I went to her. She was like my mentor back then. And she was great. She taught me a lot. And she had her weekly, meditation class, and it's kind of a psychic development class. And even though she didn't come out and say what I think I come out and say now, it was going to her classes and kind of owning my strength that I knew that I just kind of figured it out on my own. I mean, when you've been doing this consistently since like the late 80s, it's a long time.
So it is a long time.
Hopefully I help somebody that they don't make the mistakes, or that they can get there quicker.
Oh, yeah.
From what I took years to come to. But that's the biggest question people ask me, though, about, is like, when did you first know? Well, mine was gradual. Yours was like, okay.
Ours was just,
full on.
Yeah, full on. Somebody flipped the switch, that's it, you're done. Mm-hmm. But all those years that I thought that, I was no longer psychic because I had turned it off so well. But the thing about turning things off so well is that you still get stuff. Even when you think you turn it off, you still get things, and they're in your mind and gone. Mm-hmm. In your mind and gone. And then when it happens, you're like, oh yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Oh yeah, I knew. Oh yeah, I knew that was going to happen. And so after that class with Brenda, I was like, I don't know what happened to me, but I had some sort of transformation, and I was like, you know what, I have been so closed off all these years, I'm just gonna, lighten up and see what happens. And then that's when you lighten up and you see what happens, and then you're like, wow, I am like way gifted. That you don't even think about, but once you recognize it and you call it out for what it is, okay, I'm ready. And that was late in my life that I decided that, I'm ready for this, because I was just terrified. It's terrifying when you're little like that. So I guess if I want anything to come out of this particular filming, it's that, moms, when you have little kids and they come to you and they say things, don't, there's a lot of things that you can say that, oh, if you ignore it, it'll go away. But, remember, so that when they say it the next time, now you've got a trail of these children that are seeing things, and, sometimes they just need a little help coping with that. And I think that's the most important thing.
I think for me too, when I was little, I remember like when you go and you play and you pretend, monsters are there and whatever, it didn't really occur to me that like I was the only one that was like seeing things, like everyone else was pretending, but like I was actually like seeing things, which was really bizarre. So that was very confusing.
I was picking up my princess telephone, my little pink princess telephone when I was little, having conversations with people. Mm-hmm. As crazy as that sounds, I mean, and they were on the other end. So
when your kid has imaginary friends, if they say, "You remember when God threw me back down and I became your kid?" Or you remember before I was born?
Yeah. When
kids say stuff like that, I'm telling you, they're not crazy. They come in with more memory than the most of us. Yeah. But they're telling you the truth.
Yeah, children are the most pure, I think. They're not jaded, and when they're speaking from the heart. So I think that's important.
Yeah. Or they'll say, "I seen Grandpa."
Yeah.
Trust them.
Yeah, really.
But I do want to say this. I don't think a kid is too young to talk to.
Right.
I really don't. Because when you squish it as being something afraid or fearful, then they accept it and they're not spooked out then about it.
Oh yeah, because I would have loved for my mom to give me a hug and say, "You know what, honey, I know exactly what you're saying. I've been through that too. It's okay. I really think that though, I'm obviously older, but I think back in the day that my mom just didn't know enough to be able to talk to me about that, because I don't think that they really had a grasp on what they were actually dealing with too.
So.
I had a girl come see me last week, and I'll probably end with this, but she came to see me, and her kid has been terrified. Won't sleep in the bed. She knows he's seeing things because he'll tell her, and he's just like 3. So he'll say, over there, and because he's not talking real well, but she knows he's seeing things. He can get that much out. And I told her, I said, well, you need to go get a little play toy, that goes or something.
Yeah.
And I said, and you need to start telling me how that you got this light on the inside, and it's going inside your gun, and you're going to shoot that down, and you're going to know that comes from the light. And she said, oh, that's a good idea. I said, yeah, you want to start teaching him that he can shut that down.
Yeah, really.
Because if they start to, she said, that's a good idea. I said, yeah, you tell him he's got this thing inside of him that he can point his finger and go, boom, and it will go away. Because if they believe it, it will work.
Yeah, that's
right. Because what is most of our psychology especially when we're doing protection and stuff, it's intention.
Yeah, that's right.
And the stronger we can make it and be convinced of it, the stronger the prayer is.
Yeah. So
you teach a kid like, okay, I'm going to do this.
Well, I think I think that's excellent advice.
Yeah.
Empower your children.
Exactly. Any last words, Sammy?
No, I think you guys hit the nail on the head there.
Okay.
Well, I hope you guys again tune in. We'll probably do a couple here in a row. So
if you see the same clothes.
Yeah. No. I'm just going to tell you I like this shirt. That's all. But I'm so glad you all tuned in, and hopefully you watch the next one. PsychicsUptown.com.
That's right.